Hey guys, this video is going to be like a general guide to ordering vegan food at a non-vegan restaurant. I'm going to share with you some general tips and go through the process with you as an example. And just a disclaimer, this might seem very complicated at first, but once you start eating vegan out at different restaurants, you'll get the hang of it very quickly and you'll start learning what you can get and where, and it'll become so easy and you won't even have to worry about it anymore. Trust me. The first kind of like advice I'm gonna give you relate to the time before you actually arrive at the restaurant. And of course, sometimes you don't know ahead of time like where you're going, but for the times that you do know, it's best to prepare ahead of time so that you can make it easier when you get there. My first tip is to utilize your most important resource, which is the internet. By this, I mean using Google, using Yelp, and using different vegan websites and apps to find out what you can eat that is vegan at this restaurant. So for this video, I'm gonna use Red Robin as an example for everything just because it's your typical kind of non-vegan restaurant. So when the restaurant you're going to go to is a chain restaurant, what I would do before going to the restaurant is just typing in the name of the restaurant and vegan, or vegan options or whatever, and then looking at all the menus that come up with it. But restaurants that aren't chain restaurants are not gonna have all of this kind of information online. If it's not a chain restaurant, you can also search it up on Yelp, and I'm still gonna use Red Robin just because that's an easy example to use. So you would just go on their Yelp page and then you can go down to the review section and search vegan. And this one doesn't have anything, but for example, if someone before you was vegan and went to this restaurant, hopefully they may have left a review. And then if you can't find anything still, I would go and Google their menu. And you can kind of look at their menu and get a feel of what kind of food they're gonna have there and if there's gonna be anything at all that you could possibly eat there. And if you're looking through it and you're really not seeing anything, you might want to eat something before you go, just so that you're not like starving. I mean, hopefully this doesn't happen, and hopefully you're able to avoid going to these kind of restaurants when you're a vegan, and hopefully your party is accommodating. But for the times that you are forced to go to a restaurant like that, it's probably a good idea to not go super hungry. Also, another good tip for before you actually arrive at the restaurant is to call them and ask them about if they have any vegan options. Sometimes this can be difficult because sometimes people don't know exactly what vegan means. They might mistake it for vegetarian or something, but you could specify exactly what you don't want. Just tell them, I'm going to be going to this restaurant later. Would there be anything that I can eat there that does not include meat, dairy, or eggs, or honey? But yeah, so that would be my advice for before you actually arrive at the restaurant. For my advice when you're actually at the restaurant, when you get your menu, obviously you're going to just search the menu for anything that could possibly be vegan or could be made vegan by some like alterations. So just to give you some like general examples for different kinds of restaurants, at like an American food kind of restaurant, you might be able to get like a veggie burger with fries, or sweet potato fries. At like a Mexican food restaurant, you might be able to get a burrito or a burrito bowl with like rice, beans, guacamole, salsa, maybe potatoes. At a Chinese food restaurant, you could possibly get a veggie tofu stir fry with rice or some vegetable chow fun noodles. At a Japanese food restaurant, you might be able to get an avocado roll, some edamame, or some veggie tempura. At a Italian food restaurant, you will likely be able to get some pasta with vegetables and marinara sauce. At a Mediterranean restaurant, some falafel and grape leaves with pita and hummus. And at an Indian food restaurant, a vegetarian curry with rice, possibly some naan bread. Obviously, those are just general examples. A lot of the time there are other options at these kinds of restaurants, and I'm gonna make more like thorough videos on each of those coming up in the near future, and I'll link them here for you to click on. So just kind of search the menu and see what possibly looks like things that could either be vegan already or could be made vegan by just asking to switch out some things or take out some things. And don't forget that you can always try out the appetizers section and the sides section. Sometimes in the appetizer section they have something that could be vegan, and you can either order that as your meal if you want. If they have the option of ordering a half order of an appetizer, that could be like part of your meal, and then you could add on some sides or something. And then for sides, like none of those on their own sound very appealing as a meal, but a lot of the time you're able to just make a meal out of sides. So like I've gone to a restaurant before and ordered like a side of rice, a side of beans, a side of guacamole, a side of potato, and then you can ask for some salsa, and you can mix all of that together, and that's a pretty good meal. So utilize the entire menu to your advantage. And my last tip would be to have a plan A, B, C, as many as you can get. For example, if you're at a restaurant and you see that they have a veggie burger and that's your plan A, if you ask the server about the veggie burger and ask them, is there eggs in the veggie burger, or is there, milk in the bun or something like that, and they say yes, then you have your plan B to fall on, and you don't have to like hold up the waiter while you're ordering, especially if you're in like a large party. So now I'm gonna show you an example, and like I said earlier, I'm gonna use Red Robin again because it's just like your standard non-vegan restaurant. Okay, so I'm just gonna find the menu online so I can show you what I mean by all these things. See, like in the appetizers, they have guacamole, salsa, and chips. Oops. But it says our freshly prepared guacamole and salsa served with corn tortilla chips and our own jalapeno cheese flour tortilla chips. So this could be a really good appetizer for someone who is vegan, but it does come with these jalapeno cheese tortilla chips, but you might be able to ask for it without those and just with the normal tortilla chips. There is onion rings, sweet potato fries. Those are usually vegan. Onion rings could have egg in the batter they fry them in, but sweet potato fries are, pretty much always vegan. And then salads, yeah, all of them have meat on them, but a lot of the time you can order a salad without the meat and cheese. The only problem with that is that a lot of the time they don't take off any of the price. And you can always like sub things also. Like I said, if they have something in their sides like beans, rice, potatoes, grilled veggies, something like that, you can always order a side salad or like just one of the basic salads, and then order some of those sides too, and then mix them all together. And then that's obviously a much more filling and satisfying meal than just a salad. Wraps and soups. So it says soup and salad combo, and I was looking at them earlier and there wasn't really anything that would be vegan. But a lot of the time at restaurants they have a soup and salad combo, and obviously one of the salads could be vegan or made vegan, and then a lot of the time they have like a veggie soup or a minestrone or something, and you can always ask if there's cheese or milk or whatever in that, and it's likely that could be vegan also. Fresh and fire grilled burgers. I know they have a veggie burger, but it's in this other selections. But I wouldn't just skip over this completely, because for example, you can see that they have a guacamole burger. That means that they have guacamole in the restaurant somewhere, so you can always order that as a topping for whatever you're getting, if what you're getting is too boring. So just like look out for little things that could help you customize your order to make it more interesting. Other selections, it says substitute a Boca original vegan burger or garden burger, or go bunless and wrap it in a fresh lettuce, no additional charge. this would be like your best option at this restaurant, is to get a Boca Original Vegan burger. And personally, I would ask to get guacamole on this also. You might even be able to get onion rings on the burger too, since they have those. The things that might not be vegan is that the bun might not be vegan, and the Dijon sauce might not be vegan also. But you know that they have a lettuce wrap option, so you know that if you can't get the bun, then you can get the lettuce wrap. And if you can't get the sauce, then that's easy. You can just ask for no sauce. So nothing really in the combos. And then in sides and substitutions, so like if nothing else was on the menu that could possibly be vegan, you could always get a side of broccoli and carrots with a side salad and sweet potato fries. I mean, like, that's kind of sad, but like it's better than nothing. If you're forced to go to a certain restaurant like this. Thing to look out for is something that says steamed broccoli or steamed carrots. Seems like it would be vegan, but a lot of the time they just like put butter on things, or they put cheese on things just because, they can. So, and it looks like they have some smoothies also, which could likely be vegan. This one has vanilla cream in it, so it probably isn't. But this one looks like it could possibly be vegan, so I would just ask if there's any dairy in it. Okay, so now for the next part is obviously talking to your server and actually ordering the food. So, like I said, you would ask your server about all the things that you want to get, But to make that easier, to avoid any mistakes or misunderstandings, to just tell them, hey, I'm vegan, so I'd like to avoid having any dairy or eggs in any of the things that I order. If none of the things that you want to get are vegan, which hopefully doesn't happen, that's kind of a rare occurrence, just ask your server, what could I get here that doesn't have dairy, eggs, meat, or honey in it? And hopefully that will get you somewhere. Finally, after you are done eating and after you've left the restaurant, my last piece of advice for you is to pay it forward and leave a Yelp review about the place that you just ate at, just telling what you ordered and were they accommodating to you at that restaurant as a vegan, and if you know of any other vegan options that they offer. Like, for example, when I showed earlier that I went on Yelp and I searched vegan in the review section and there was nothing, if the last person who was vegan who went to that restaurant left a Yelp review saying what they got or saying what they found out was vegan there, then I would be able to see that and know quickly, what's vegan there and not have to worry about it. Another thing that's really important is that if you order something that, you didn't know that it wasn't vegan, but it turns out it had like a smidge of butter in it, or like they accidentally put some cheese on it or something, is really not that big of a deal. Like, don't get upset or beat yourself up over, an accidental mistake. It might seem very difficult and intimidating at first, but if you just stick with it, like, you will learn so quickly what you can get where, and it'll get really easy really soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please let me know in the comments. And also, if you have any other tips that I didn't mention, like this video if you found it helpful, and please subscribe for more tips on eating vegan or ordering vegan or making vegan food or living a vegan lifestyle, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.